Good morning, students. Hope you are fit and fine and enjoying your online assignments. Students, so far we have done graphical representations of motion of different objects. Today we are going to solve certain numerical problems based on graphs. Before starting, let's have a quick revision of various informations that we get from different graphs. Now, can you tell what does slope of displacement time graph gives us? Remember displacement time graph? Here it is. It will give us velocity. Similarly, slope of distance time graph will give us what? Yes, speed. And moving to velocity time graphs. Remember velocity time graph? Here it is. Slope of velocity time graph will give us, yes, it will give us acceleration. And what about area? Area under speed time graph will give us distance, and area under velocity time graph will give us displacement. Before solving numericals, students, please revise these points very carefully. Only then you will be able to solve the numericals. Moving to first question. The graph shows position of a body at different times. Calculate speed of a body as it moves from A to B, B to C, and then C to D. Students, as we have just revised that slope of distance time graph will give us speed. That means in order to calculate speed, we will calculate the slope. And remember the formula to calculate slope? It will be perpendicular upon base. Here you can see from A to B. How to calculate slope? We will calculate this perpendicular first and then the value of this base, and then we will divide these two terms and we will get the slope. See how to solve it? We know slope of distance time graph give speed, and speed from A to B will be equal to slope. Slope is perpendicular upon base, and by calculating the value of BE, that is 4 minus 0, B is at 0.4 and E is at 0.0. So BE will be 4 minus 0. Similarly, AE is at the 0.4 and A is at 0.0. So AE will be 4 minus 0. Hence, speed of body from A to B is 1 centimeter per second. Similarly, we can find the speed from B to C. As it is clear, there is no slope. It is parallel to time axis. Slope is 0. Hence, speed will be 0. And similarly, in the third case, you can find the slope by calculating perpendicular DF and base CF, and then dividing these two terms, you can get the value of speed. Moving to next question. Here, answer the following question using the given velocity time graph of a particle moving along a straight line. First question is the motion uniform for complete journey of particle? Is the acceleration uniform? Does the particle change its direction of motion? Now let's answer it. We know that it is a velocity time graph. Here from O to A, velocity is increasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. That is why it is a straight line. So it is showing uniform acceleration here. And from A to B, what is happening? Velocity is decreasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. That means it is showing uniform retardation. Now, first question, is the motion uniform for complete journey? No, it's uniform only for the first half. It is showing uniform motion from O to A, and from A to B it is showing uniform retardation. So B part is acceleration uniform? Again the answer will be no, because only from O to A we are having uniform acceleration. And the last, does the particle change its direction of motion? Here just velocity is increasing in the first half and second half velocity is decreasing, but direction remains same, as velocity is not negative here. Only we are using the positive y-axis for the velocity only, and velocity is not negative here. So direction is not changing. Moving to next question. Here Displacement time graph is shown below. We are to plot the velocity time graph for the same. Students, here you can see along y-axis we are having displacement and along x-axis we are having time. So slope of displacement time graph will give us velocity. So in order to plot velocity time graph, we need to calculate velocity here. So how to find velocity here? You can see it is a straight line making constant angle. So slope, it is a constant angle, so slope is constant, that means velocity is constant. It is showing uniform velocity here. Here displacement is increasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. And similarly from A to B, displacement is decreasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. So it is again showing uniform velocity. But you can see in first half displacement is increasing and in the second half displacement is decreasing. It means object changes its direction of motion and from A to B it is moving towards the origin point. So from O to A it's showing displacement is increasing. So uniform velocity is there. From A to B again displacement is here decreasing but it is showing uniform velocity with change in direction. So for plotting this graph we need the two axes. By negative half of the y-axis is also needed here because we need to show the change in direction. So here is the graph for this. For the first half from O to A we are having this line and from A to B we are having this line that is showing the velocity is uniform, constant, but it is in the negative direction. Moving to next question. Here, velocity time graph for the motion of object is a straight line and along the time axis. Identify the nature of motion and find the acceleration of a body. Here students, as you can see, here it is the straight line parallel to time axis. That means slope is 0. And what velocity time graph, what is the slope for velocity time graph? It gives us acceleration. So here acceleration will be 0. And there is no variation along y-axis. That means y-axis there is no variation, means velocity is constant for all the time. So it is showing uniform velocity with 0 acceleration. So moving to the next question. The velocity time graph shows the motion of a cyclist. Find its acceleration, velocity and distance. So it is just the sum up of all the questions that we have done today. Here velocity time graph is shown and the graph is a straight line parallel to time axis. So it is showing uniform velocity, means slope is 0. That means acceleration will be 0. So first answer will be acceleration 0. Then velocity, it is uniform, it will be 20. And distance covered. How can we find the distance covered from velocity time graph? We'll calculate the area under velocity time graph. How to calculate the area now? Area is ABCO, this area. How can we calculate this area? By calculating the area of a rectangle. Here it is length into breadth. So length is this length 20 and breadth OC, it is along time axis, it is 15. So answer is 300 meter. So students, hope it's clear to you. Now solve these numericals on your notebook and specifying the date and heading clearly. And also there is an assignment for you. Try to solve it in your notebooks. Till then, enjoy learning. Thank you.